Should you overpay on your mortgage? This is a question that a lot of homeowners ask, and they want to know, is it worthwhile or should they use the money for something else? Even if you're not a homeowner yet, it's good to know this for the future. So my personal opinion is I would never overpay on my mortgage, and I'm going to tell you the reasons for this later on. But what actually is a mortgage overpayment? So most UK mortgage lenders will let you overpay 10% of your total mortgage balance a year. So for example, if you had a £200,000 mortgage balance, you could overpay £20,000 in that year on your mortgage. And in theory, that would mean you pay off your mortgage quicker and you pay less in interest overall. But is this the best use of your money, especially if you're paying it off in a lump sum? Even if you're paying it off monthly, there's different ways you can use your money. I'm going to show you my favorite way and the reason why I wouldn't overpay my mortgage. But first, let's take a look at the mortgage overpayment calculator. So I'm on Money Saving Experts overpayment calculator, and we're going to plug in our details. So we're saying it's a £200,000 mortgage debt, and we're keeping the term at 25 years. 4.5% interest is a rate that a lot of people will be paying now. I'm paying about that right now, so we're going to keep it at that. And the one-off overpayment is £20,000. We're not doing a recurring overpayment, so we're going to delete that. And let's have a look at the results. So we've got our results, and our overpayment savings are £35,730, and that sounds like a crazy amount of money to save just by overpaying £20,000. And if we look at the debt cleared, we actually clear our debt 4 years and 2 months earlier, meaning now instead of a 25-year term, we're down to 21 years, which again is great. You can pay off your mortgage quicker. But is this the best use of your money? I'm going to show you my preferred way to do it now. So like I said, this is my personal preference. It's not the right answer. It might not be the wrong answer. It's just the way I would prefer to do it. And I have a high tolerance for risk, especially when it comes to investment. So what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to invest my money, and my favorite way to invest is on the stock market. And don't worry if you have no investing experience and you'd like to learn, I have a beginner's guide to invest in. I'm going to put the link in the description. So how I'm going to do it, I'm going to put it in a stocks and shares ISA, and my stocks and shares ISA last year actually saw a 60% return. You're allowed to put £20,000 a year tax free, which is great. It's a perfect number for our little scenario right now. 60% return is unrealistic for most years. That was an exceptional return. We're going to do an 8% return, which is a realistic number. And you can choose how you invest your money. It could be a single stock like Meta, it could be Apple, it could be an ETF like the S&P 500. It doesn't really matter. We're just going to use an 8% return for this scenario. So to simulate this return, we're using a compound interest calculator, and we are going to do our lump sum of £20,000. So a one-off payment of £20,000 over 21 years, because remember, our mortgage repayment time got cut down to 21 years by doing an early repayment. So this is going to be a fair test now, and we're going to do an 8% growth rate. We're going to calculate that now. Actually, I have to put 0.0 just to make it work. And so the results are in for this one as well. After 21 years, our initial investment has grown to £100,676, which again, amazing number. And the actual profit from the investment would have been £80,676. So already off the bat, we can tell that is more than our mortgage overpayment. But let's just see the numbers itself. So the mortgage overpayment actually was £35,000, but we're going to round it up to £36,000. So that would be a £44,000 difference between the two strategies. And that is a lot of money. That is a lot of money to miss out on. And this is not to say that these returns are going to be exactly this. Both of them have variables. You could see a negative return on your investment in the stock market. You could actually lose money. You could see, like I said, I saw a 60% return last year. You could see a 2% return. You could see a 15% return. But at the same time, your mortgage rate could go from 4.5% to 8%. It could go to 1%. Both of these scenarios have variables, so we can only just do a fair test and compare the numbers from that. So like I said, this is personal preference. There's no right or wrong answer. If you want to pay overpaying your mortgage, you can completely do that. No one's going to tell you you're wrong. Well, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong anyway. Like I said, I have a high tolerance for risk. I like to invest. That's my personal preference. But with overpaying your mortgage, there's more than just financial value. There is mental value. You might want to overpay your mortgage because this is your forever home. You just want to be mortgage free quicker, and this is going to give you peace of mind. So guys, let me know in the comments, have you overpaid your mortgage? Are you thinking of overpaying your mortgage? Would you overpay your mortgage if you're not a homeowner yet? I want to know in the comments, and I'm posting every single day on this channel. So make sure you're subscribed, press the notification bell, follow me for more. I'm broke, baby.